I suggest that we start with the first part. So we will kick off the session with Andrea Dotti. I will just give you a little bit more detail about Andrea. He received his PhD in physics from the University of Pisa, worked as a researcher at CERN and at Stanford. And currently he directs advanced R&D activities at Pix4D, the company who is a leader in the field of photogrammetry. Okay, that's the introduction of Andrea. Please, the floor is yours.
Hello, thank you, Alexandra, for the nice introduction. It's a pleasure to be here at CERN, at least virtually, and I have prepared a few slides that I hope are helpful for you and can give you a little bit of my personal story moving out of academia to analytics and data science. So as said, I got my PhD in 2007, so it seems quite a lot of time ago. And at the time, I was working for the Atlas experiment at CERN, and in particular, focusing on test beam and commissioning activities. At the time, we were actually building the detector. In 2008, I joined CERN as a fellowship, and I moved to more software activities, and in particular, working for the Gen4 simulation team. After the conclusion of my fellowship at CERN, I moved at Stanford and SLAC, where I continued to work on simulations, again for the Atlas experiment. And during that experience, I started to look outside, let's say, of where I did my PhD and my experience at CERN, that is high energy physics, still looking at physics simulations and Gen4 simulation, but for medical applications in particular, but also space application, and also some more industrial one. So this led me open my curiosity to the private sector out of academia. And in 2018, I decided with my family to move back to Europe. And we moved here in Switzerland, where I'm based now. And I joined a startup. As you know, startup not always are successful. So in that case also, it did not work out, but provide a very insightful knowledge for me to what was the difference between what I was used before and what was new in the private sector. In 2019, I joined the company where I work now. It's called Pix4D. It's a Swiss company based in Lausanne that is doing photogrammetry. Now, in my work, I see at a different scale and with different subjects, but a kind of parallelism to what we were doing before. We are a technology company that is doing photogrammetry, so basically building 3D and 2D maps, 3D models and 2D maps from images. So, and we take care of the entire pipeline. So if I can make a parallel, maybe a little bit hazardous, but if I can make a parallel with what I'm used and what I was working on, for example, for the Atlas experiment, there is a part in which we acquire data and we take the data, and there is a data acquisition part. There is a part of data processing and reconstruction, and then the analysis part. So, well, in my role now, I think I can remap my mental model that was driven by my studies and my early career to what I'm doing now. So we develop data acquisition system, hardware and software. We develop the software to reconstruct this data into 3D models, and then the analysis tool to extract the information from this model. So in a certain sense, again, at a very different scale, from a big, large experiment like Atlas to a phone or a drone, we have some parallelism. There is also another parallel that for me was very important when I chose this company to work on, and is the international aspect. Again, the scale is completely different with what I was used at CERN and at Stanford, but I'm happy that the company where I am now also has an international aspect. We have offices in Europe, in the US, and Japan, and we have many contacts around the world in all the continents. And this for me personally is very important because it helps me build the international aspect of my career that has been always very important. So since I've been talking about what I'm working on now, I just would like to give you a very brief overview of what I'm actually doing now. So our company is a technology company that is providing services and solutions to other companies in the space of precision agriculture, construction, surveying and mapping, energy utilities and infrastructure, and public safety and forensics. These are our main use cases that we solve, and I'm part of this company directing R&D activities, in particular focusing on machine learning and advanced analytics. So if I can make a comparison between my past experience and what I have now, I think there are a few points that I would like to share. First of all is why I chose this company. So why photogrammetry, even if it was not in my background as a student. I think that what is really attracting me here in this company is the possibility to solve complex problems in technology. At the time was radiation matter simulations, now it's computer vision. Very different, but with the same spirit. I think that a very common concern that people moving out of academia are as the feeling of not knowing the field where they are going to. I was not a photogrammetry expert at all. I didn't know what photogrammetry was, and I was not a data scientist, strictly speaking. However, I think that what CERN gave me and what my experience in academia gave me mainly is the problem-solving mindset. That is actually a top trait that when hiring for R&D, data science, and this high technology position, the recruiters search for. So I think that this ability helped me a lot in finding this job. I was also impressed at how fast the technology evolves and moves in the private sector. So what we learn today may be well changing tomorrow. And again, the flexibility and the possibility and the capability to adapt quickly was very valuable skill for me. And you need to demonstrate it when you search a job. This was very important beside the specific technology that I learned during my academia time. What probably is most challenging, even today after a few years of experience, is try to move beyond the academic perfectionism. And I perfectly understand, and it's very correct, that when we are in academia, when we are working at CERN, we strive for perfection. We try to find the best possible solution, no matter what. Well, unfortunately, in a certain sense, in the private sector, it cannot always be like that. Often you need to find the most acceptable solution that satisfies the constraints you have, being constrained, economics constraint, of time, or whatever. And actually, this is probably something that someone coming from excellence centers or excellence university struggle the most to adapt to. But however, when you complete the journey, I find what is most satisfying for me in this new activity is the possibility to align the complex technical concept that I work on and I work with the team to the business needs, bringing the very value that our customers need, and finding a way to create together a value proposition and a message that resonates with our customers is probably the most satisfying part of my job. I've concluded here. I just want to invite you to the breakout session. Was just to mention that we are hiring. We have a few technical positions. Emma is also our talent acquisition lead. And please join me in the breakout session if you are interested to join us. Thank you.